Okay, I need you to stop whatever you are doing right now and pay very close attention to this reading, because what I am about to tell you is going to shake you to your core. The person we are reading about today is not just thinking about you casually. This is not a passing thought. This is not a, "oh, I wonder how they are doing" kind of energy. What I am picking up in these cards is an obsession, a deep, consuming, can't eat, can't sleep kind of obsession. And before you brush that off, before you tell yourself, "no, that can't be about me," I need you to understand something. You have been underestimating the effect you have on people. You have been walking around not fully realizing what you carry, what you radiate, what you leave behind every single time you walk out of a room. And this person, they know exactly what you carry. They have been sitting with it, quietly, privately, turning it over in their mind again and again. So get comfortable, because these cards have a lot to say, and every single word of this is meant for you. Let us get into the first card that came out, and this one set the entire tone for everything else in this reading. Silence has changed their perspective. You to really sit with that for a second. Silence. Something went quiet between you two at some point. Maybe you pulled back. Maybe they pulled back. Maybe life just created some distance, and there was a period where things were not the same as they once were. But what these cards are telling me is that instead of that silence pushing this person further away from you, it did the exact opposite. It woke something up in them. When the noise died down, when the distraction of everyday interaction was gone, this person was left alone with their thoughts, and their thoughts kept coming back to you. Someone who possibly took your presence for granted when you were around. Not necessarily in a malicious way, but in the way that humans do when something beautiful becomes familiar. They stopped seeing it clearly. They got used to you, and then you were not there in the same way anymore. And suddenly, the absence of you became louder than anything else in their life. Every quiet moment reminded them of you. Every time they scrolled through their phone or sat alone at night, something was missing, and they knew exactly what that something was. What's so powerful about this card is that it tells me this person had to do some serious internal work during that silence. They had to confront things about themselves, about the way they treated you, about the things they said or did not say, the opportunities they let pass by, the moments they could have stepped up and chose not to. And rather than running from those realizations, they sat with them. They let the discomfort teach them something. And what it taught them is that you are not someone to take lightly. You never. For a lot of you, this silence was something you initiated, maybe not even fully consciously. You stopped chasing. You stopped being so available. You started focusing on yourself and your own path, and this person watched that shift happen, and it hit them differently than they ever expected. They thought they were fine. They thought they did not need to act. And then the quiet came in and showed them the truth. They are not fine without you. They have not been fine for a while. And that realization has been sitting heavy on their chest ever since. Into the second card, and this one genuinely gave me chills when it came out. They are choosing courage over fear. Person is scared. I want to be transparent about that because I think it is important for you to understand the full picture. They are not indifferent. They are not unbothered. They are actually terrified because what they feel for you is big. It is real. And real feelings carry real risk. And that kind of vulnerability is something this person does not hand out easily. They have been burned before. They have opened up before and had that openness used against them. Or they have tried before and been left feeling foolish. So the walls they built are not about you. They were built long before you came along. Here is what the cards are telling me. Something is shifting. Something is moving inside of them. Because fear has been running the show for long enough, and they can feel it now. They can feel that if they let fear win again, they are going to lose something they will deeply regret losing. And that awareness, that reckoning, is pushing them toward courage. Slowly, not perfectly, not without moments of doubt and second guessing, but the movement is happening. About what it takes to choose courage over fear when your heart is involved. It is not dramatic or cinematic. It does not always look bold from the outside. Sometimes choosing courage looks like picking up your phone and typing a message and actually sending it instead of deleting it. Sometimes it looks like asking a mutual friend how you are doing. Sometimes it looks like showing up somewhere knowing you might see you. This person is in those small, courageous moments right now. They are testing themselves, seeing if they can actually do it. And the energy I am getting is that they are getting closer to. For many of you, this person has had a pattern of getting to the edge and pulling back, getting right to the point where they almost say everything and then finding a reason not to. But this time feels different in the cards. This time the pull toward you is stronger than the pull back. And that is significant. That is a turning point energy, and I need you to receive that. Card is so beautiful, and I feel like so many of you needed to see this today. Your person wants a second chance. I know some of you might have complicated feelings about that. Some of you might feel a rush of hope, and some of you might feel guarded. And honestly, both of those responses make complete sense. But let me tell you what I am picking up from this card beyond just the surface meaning, because there is so much more here. Not a desperate, please take me back energy. This is not someone who has done zero reflection and just wants things to go back to how they were. That would not sit right in the cards, and this does sit right. What I am feeling from this card is a matured desire. This person has thought about what a second chance would actually look like. They have thought about what they would do differently. They have had genuine conversations with themselves about who they were in this connection versus who they want to be. And out of all of that thinking, all of that honest self-assessment, they have arrived at a place where they genuinely believe they are ready to show up for you in a way they did not What changed? A lot. The silence we talked about in the first card did its work. The courage we talked about in the second card has been growing in them. But beyond that, I feel like this person had some kind of moment of clarity, almost like a wake-up call, where they could see the version of themselves that let things fall apart with you. And they did not like what they saw, and instead of burying that discomfort, they used it as fuel to grow. Of you, this person has even rehearsed what they want to say to you. They have thought about how to approach you, what words to use, how to make sure you understand that they are serious this time. They do not want to say the wrong thing. They do not want to come across as just wanting something convenient. They want you to know that this is intentional. This is chosen. You are chosen. Card. And this one is so confirming of everything we have been talking about. Your person values you differently now. Be specific about what this means, because I do not want it to feel vague. When I say differently, I mean they see you now in a way they genuinely could not see you before, not because you changed, but because they did. You were always this. You were always this layered, this rare, this magnetic. They just did not have the eyes for it yet. And something, whether it was time, experience, loss, growth, or all of the above, gave them those eyes. They value you now is not just about wanting you back in their life for comfort or familiarity. It goes deeper than that. They value what you bring energetically. They value your perspective, the way you think, the way you see the world. They value your strength, even if that strength sometimes looked like pulling away or going quiet. They value your standards, even though at the time those standards might have felt challenging. And they value who they become when they are around you versus who they become when you are not. I also want to say something for those of you who have been feeling unseen or unappreciated in your lives generally. This card is a mirror, because the person we are reading about is not the only one who has woken up to your value. There are people around you, maybe people you have not even considered, who see something in you that stops them in their tracks. You carry something rare, and rare things take time to be recognized by people who have not yet developed the discernment to see them clearly, but they always get recognized eventually. And for this specific person in your reading today, that recognition is fully activated. Think about the things you said to them, the advice you gave, the way you made them feel when you were fully present with them. And they realize now that they did not hold on to that the way they should have, but they are holding on to it now in memory. And they are determined not to let it slip away again if given the chance. The card just made my jaw drop a little, and I need you to really hear this one. A comeback is closer than it seems. Being on this is so specific and so urgent, because I feel like some of you are sitting in a place of exhaustion around this connection. You are tired of hoping. You have caught yourself wondering if anything is ever actually going to move, or if you are going to be in this holding pattern forever. And what these cards are telling me is that you need to hold on just a little longer, because what you have been waiting for, what you have been feeling building in the energy, is right at the edge of manifestation. Art carries a very distinct energy of things moving faster than the logical mind would expect. This person is not where they were 6 months ago. They are not even where they were last month. Something has accelerated in them, in their willingness, in their readiness, in their courage. And I keep getting this image of a dam that has been holding back an enormous amount of water, and the pressure has been building and building, and there is a crack forming, and that crack is the courage we talked about. That crack is the shift in how they value you. And when it breaks, what comes through is going to be, for many of you, I am picking up the number of weeks, not months. I am picking up communication coming in. I am picking up an energy where something that felt stalled suddenly starts moving. And it is going to feel almost surprising in its speed. So if you have been asking the universe for a sign, let this be it. Let this reading be what confirms to you that you are not crazy for still feeling this connection. You are not foolish for holding onto hope. The hope is grounded in something real. I also want to say, and this is important, this comeback is not about going back to exactly what things were. That version of the connection served its purpose, and it is complete. What is coming is an upgraded version, a version where both of you have grown, a version where the mistakes of before have been understood and learned from, a version that has the potential to be so much more solid, so much more honest, so much more aligned than what existed before. Last card. I need you to take a breath before I talk about this one, because this one carries the most emotional weight of everything that came out today. They regret taking you for granted. It's real, deep, sitting in the middle of the night kind of regret. Not surface level, not performative. The kind of regret that shows up in quiet moments when you cannot distract yourself from the truth of your own behavior. The kind that visits you when a song comes on, or you see something that reminds you of a person, and suddenly your chest hurts in a way that is hard to. This person knows. They know they did not show up the way you deserved. They know there were moments when you needed them to be more present, more expressive, more intentional, and they were not those things. Maybe they got comfortable. Maybe they convinced themselves you would always be there. Maybe they had their own unhealed wounds that made it hard to give you what you needed. Whatever the reason, it does not change the fact that the outcome hurt you. And they know it. They carry that knowledge. What I want to focus on is what this regret is producing in them, because regret on its own is just pain. Regret that turns into growth, into action, into a changed way of showing up. That is what matters, and that is exactly what I am seeing in this card. This is not someone who is going to come back into your life and make the same mistakes. This is someone who has been in the fire of their own accountability and has come out with a different understanding of what love actually requires. what commitment actually means, what showing up for someone looks like day to day, not just in grand gestures. You for granted because they did not fully understand what they had. That is painful to admit and painful to hear. But the beauty on the other side of it is that now they know, and there is a version of a relationship where both people truly see each other, truly value each other, where that kind of taking for granted simply cannot exist because the awareness is too strong. That is the version this person is working toward. That is the version they are hoping you will allow them to show you. Those of you who have been asking whether this person truly cares, whether their feelings are as deep as yours, let this card answer that. The depth of someone's regret is directly proportional to how much they care. People do not lose sleep over losing things that do not matter to them. People do not sit in genuine accountability over something they are indifferent about. The regret is the evidence. The regret is the proof, and it is pointing direct. Let me bring everything together now, because I want you to leave this reading with the full picture that these 6 cards painted. Have here is a person who was shaken awake by silence, who has been in an internal battle between their fear and their courage, and courage is winning, who wants to come back to you not out of habit or convenience, but out of genuine intention and a transformed understanding of your worth, who sees you differently now, values you differently now, and carries real regret for the moments they did not honor what they had with you. And on top of all of that, the timing of this comeback, the physical manifestation of all this internal movement, is closer than it has ever been. Someone who is easy to forget. You are the kind of person who gets under people's skin in the most profound way and lives there, taking up space, whether they want you to or not. And this person has been living with you in that internal space for long enough that it is overflowing. It is too much to keep inside. It is moving toward expression and action. What you have been feeling about this connection. Trust the intuitive pulls, the moments where this person randomly crossed your mind, the dreams, the signs. None of that was random. Energy does not lie. And the energy in this reading is loud and clear. Serve someone who knows what they have. And what I see in these cards is someone who is arriving at exactly that knowing, right now, in real time. Receive it when it comes.